Welcome, Royals. It is another Realist Tea Talk. My name is Angie, and unfortunately, I was not blessed with the ability to sugarcoat anything. So, we're going to make our tea and we're going to get to the tea. So, today's topic is going to be self concept and self awareness. I feel like this is a very, very important topic to touch on today because in our world that we live in these days, people just aren't aware of themselves. And I believe wholeheartedly that that is a big first step in understanding how to treat each other like a human being, just to be nice to each other, be kind to each other, and be able to coexist with each other, understanding that everyone is not the same and everyone has differences. So I am very excited for this tea talk. So we're getting our tea together. And before we get started, of course, I'm wearing my A Price t-shirt. Support. It's my best friend, one of my best friends, and if you like his merchandise, you can follow him on Instagram. Okay, so another Realist Tea Talk where we can speak our real and help each other heal. That definitely is my goal for these tea talks. I just want to bring a little bit more information to you all, help us grow together and be better human beings. Of course, we're going to start with the definition. So, self concept is how we view ourselves. It is our individual perception of our behaviors, our abilities, and our unique characteristics. So, how do you view who you are? If you close your eyes and take a mental picture of who you are today, how do you view yourself? That is self concept. And there are many theories revolving around self concept. I personally agree and relate more to the theory that was proposed by the psychologist Carl Rogers, which states that there are 3 parts to your self concept, and those parts are your self image. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you see? The next part would be self-esteem, and this is how we value ourselves. How much do you feel that you are worth? Which we are all worth more than we give ourselves credit for. I give people more credit than I give myself. So it's a continuous battle. These are just topics that help us become more vigilant on what we do and how we treat each other. And the last part to self concept that Carl Rogers proposed is our ideal self. So, not only am I looking at myself in the mirror and I'm weighting how much I value myself, but at the end of the day, how do I wish I could be? These are all things that we battle with throughout the day, and more often than not, we base our opinions of ourselves on how we think others view us. And I can say that I have done that before. I do it sometimes now, and I definitely need to take the time to make sure I stop, think, and value myself always. Okay, so that's self concept, the perfect gateway that we need in order to understand our whole selves and the tools we need in order to become more self aware. So, this involves monitoring our stress, our thoughts, our beliefs, our emotions. Self awareness is a major influence on our personal development. So, I personally feel that throughout life, we all should be learning and growing continuously. No one knows everything, and there's never nothing to learn. So, being more self aware is learning. In order to learn ourselves, we have to do a self-examination. You have to take a step back and examine yourself open-mindedly and objectively. Now, in order to successfully self examine ourselves, we have to have a peace of mind. We have to take that time out in order to give ourselves room to fully examine. We have to pay attention to ourselves, and we have to pay attention to what we are doing and trying to accomplish, as well as being focused on the goal. So, of course, it's going to take a little time. I'm not saying that you can watch this tea talk and then after it, close your eyes and self reflect. No, it takes time, and we all have lives. So, you just take a little time out of each day to reflect. So, of course, below you can find where I get all my information from. If you are more aware of who you are, it is a higher probability that you will be more successful in life. This is because when you're more self aware, you can identify what is a good opportunity for yourself, and you can execute and dominate that opportunity because you are aware of what you want and your goals. There are a couple of ways we can be more self aware. So, walking is the first thing that I found can help with self awareness. It gives you that quiet time, you're allowed to focus, and studies show that our minds kind of follow our feet. So, if our feet are going forward, our mind starts working and it starts wandering, and we start reflecting, and it gives us that clarity, and it cuts out all the extra things that are going through our mind throughout the day that keep us from being able to focus on ourselves. Okay, now next is mindfulness. You have to be mindful of your actions, of your behaviors, of your emotions. Lord knows I am preaching to the choir, which is myself. I have to be mindful. Not everyone will have the same perspective of you as you do yourself, and that is okay. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. It is okay for someone not to like you, but you have to be mindful of why they don't like you. What is it that you said? What is it that you did that doesn't sit right with them? Now, if it's something negative or something that you don't want to do to anyone else, then you correct it and you move forward. But if it's something that you just don't see yourself stopping, and maybe it's something that you can't change, then you let that roll off your back and you continue to be yourself. But you are aware why they don't like you. Okay, you don't like me because I'm black. Well, I can't change me being black. I'm not going to change me being black. I accept your opinion. I'm black and I'm proud. I move forward. Okay. So, another thing we can do to become more self aware is being a good listener. And I have, with becoming a nurse, started to develop being a better listener. Being a good listener, active listening, actually listening, hearing what they're saying, comprehending what they're saying, understanding what they're saying, and accepting what they're saying. This helps and can teach us to listen to ourselves. So when we're doing that self-examination and we're reflecting on those thoughts in our subconscious and our conscious, and we're trying to understand ourselves better, now that I've become a good listener, now I'm going to start listening to myself more. So yes, become a good listener. Open your ears, close your mouth. Okay, now becoming more self-aware can help us be more enlightening. It helps us learn about ourselves, because I'm talking about all this self-awareness and self-concept, but if you don't even know who you are, then it kind of defeats the purpose. So that's where we need to start. Do you know who you are? Do you know what your likes and dislikes are? Do you know your personality traits? Do you know your pet peeves? Do you know your flaws? Do you know your strengths? Do you know your weaknesses? Knowing yourself helps you be more confident. And I can say that just over the past about year and a half, I really took some time out to start learning who I am, what I love, what I like to do, and yes, I have become just a little bit more confident in myself. Okay, so the next thing self awareness can assist us with is new perspectives, giving us a new view on life, on ourselves, on others. It helps you become more open minded, expressing yourself better, understanding other people better, being more universally inclusive, understanding that everyone is not the same, but if you love you for you, why does the next person matter? Thoughts? Okay, so self awareness also can be connected to self esteem. And I definitely can agree with this statement. Usually, the opinion we hold of ourselves is what we feel someone else thinks about us. And I have battled with this my entire life. I'm still battling with it. Okay, so self awareness can help you look at yourself more objectively. And that's something that we've been discussing this entire Tea Talk. Okay, another option they gave was journaling. I'm not a huge writer, but if you are a huge writer, writing sometimes can reveal what contemplation won't. So, where you can be thinking on something, it may not come out, but if you're writing it down, it may. Okay, another tip they gave about becoming more self aware is getting feedback from others, knowing how someone else views you, and taking that and saying, maybe I can tweak or adjust myself in order to be more personable or likable or whatever the case may be, because every one of our personality traits is not the best. Yes, feedback from others. Communication is so important in any relationship, whether it be a significant other, family member, friend. You have to communicate, because if you don't say it, they will never know. Being more self aware can help us know our strengths and weaknesses. We said that already. And it also can help us set intentions. So if we go through life with no intentions, we won't end up anywhere. If you don't have a goal or some kind of direction you want to go, you're going to be at that standstill. It's going to happen. That's just like if you're driving a car. If you don't know where you're going, where are you going? Nowhere. You're probably still sitting in the parking lot waiting, about to get carbon monoxide poisoning. But we have to set intentions. You have to know what's important to yourself. You have to know what you want to accomplish. That way, you know which direction you're heading in. I think that encompasses enough about self-awareness. Just make sure that we understand our inner selves and our inner mind so that we can live more meaningful lives. Hopefully, next week's Tea Talk will be a group Tea Talk, and I will have some people on here that are close to me. And if you know me, you probably already know who it is. And we are going to have a relationship conversation, because I feel like that's the next thing on our personal development list. Making meaningful relationships, lasting relationships. But always remember to keep your head up and 10 toes down, royals. Until next time, kings and queens.